Oh, guys.
Yo.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And I'm back with my honey.
Been gone for a minute now. I'm back again.
Yeah, you're probably wondering, are they going to do like
They
all
probably,
these videos?
Wait, did they even miss me? They probably like, oh, you gone.
Yeah, I took charge of the content for last week. And we're back together and...
Yeah. Or now the content's gonna go uphill now that I'm back.
Wow.
Or downhill.
Exactly. I was
We don't
like,
know.
let's get real.
You know what I'm saying?
Also, who's wearing a leather jacket in bed? Like, you're casually in a
It's
hoodie
casual.
and I'm casually in a leather jacket. Like,
Someone say casually.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Let's not go.
Oh.
Let's not get.
let's
Let's not get too crazy.
I do have a white t-shirt under to
Not
just
casual.
keep it pretty simple. Guys, this is just a topic about our marriage.
Yep.
Like, it's a pandemic. It's 2020. We got an election.
yeah.
We got 2 kids. We got...
It's still time for the murder hornets to come through.
Okay, what is
The
your
murder
obsession
hornets.
with the murder hornets?
I need to see the murder hornets. That's all I'm saying.
Anyways, yeah, we have...
2020 needs it.
2020 does not need it. We know a lot of y'all aren't married, but we know a lot of y'all are married.
And a lot of y'all are wanting to be married.
And
A lot of them
wanting
want
to be married.
Yeah.
And this is just like to talk about why keeping your marriage and keeping our marriage number one. Now, God is number one.
Yeah.
But second, and before our kids, before our careers, before...
Number one after God.
Number... Are you trying to just jump to
No,
it?
no, no. I'm just paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like
Number one
You paraphrase a lot of what I have to say.
Well, you gotta wrap. Someone
Summarize.
gotta put in a nice wrapping paper and a bow, and you know what I'm saying? Just a bow.
You know that timeout for our wedding hashtag in 2016. Y'all this late. I came up with this. It was hashtag tying the bow.
2016.
Oh yeah, 2016 at the end of it. How cool and original is that?
So if you put it together, we got married in 2016. If you want to
Yeah,
get to
2016 was the year.
Yeah,
so
what's
we've
the
been
year?
married 4.5 years.
Almost 5.
Almost 5.
That's crazy. Almost 5 years in the cut.
Oh gosh, y'all.
Woo!
Like, when we first started doing these videos, I was like, I am not talking about marriage because I
Yeah.
know nothing about marriage.
And you know
And I
what?
still know nothing about marriage.
Almost
so.
5 years later, you still realize that it ain't easy.
It ain't
Keeping
easy.
it breezy.
Keeping it breezy.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
so, yeah, like so many people dream about like marriage.
Yeah.
And we're here to tell you, like, first of all, don't ever make marriage your mountaintop. Like, when I get to marriage, my whole life is just gonna be so magical.
Oh yeah, no, because it's. I feel like marriage is one of the hardest things in the world to deal with. Because I mean,
Deal with it.
Not to deal with, but to keep going, keep it afloat.
Well,
Because
yeah.
it's so easy to quit. Like
It is.
nowadays, you see so many couples and stuff just like
There's
ending it.
like, yo, breath was so hot.
Yeah. And they don't
I
like.
want
It
nothing
almost
to do
like,
with you anymore.
yeah, it's like they don't try as hard to try to keep it. Like it's
Yeah.
like I can get out of it. Like, but that was for us. Like we came into marriage saying that, hey, we're doing this and we're only gonna do this one time. Like the only thing that's gonna separate this is death. Like we're gonna just die. And that's the only way you're getting out of this. I make it sound really extreme, don't I?
That is like,
But that's the
Yeah.
mentality you have to take, though.
yeah, no, I mean,
All or nothing.
I think it is a commitment to show up
Yeah.
every day. And here's
Yep.
the deal where we're at. Like, we have now 2 kids.
Yes.
And
One of them right here.
it is so much intentionality to
Invading
keep...
our YouTube
No,
videos.
wait, what? It's crazy because before you have kids, you just think, I'll never be the person that gets lost in my children and
Yeah.
like, my love muffin will always be number 1 in my eyes, which he is. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, you don't.
No,
you gotta always remember that.
You
now.
remember it.
I
You
remember
it. But the point is, like, life is happening, and these
Yeah.
babies demand so much, and just still life, like
Yeah.
your job and friends, and just whatever emotions.
Yeah, and there's also like responsibility. Like if you're a responsible person, both of us are like high on responsibility.
Yeah.
Like you want to be the best mother, you want to be the best father, and you realize like that takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort. But at the same time, like you're saying, like your marriage has to be number one.
And you have to intentionally think about it.
Yeah.
Like you can't just, like for me, you can't just get lost in like I don't know, like it just floating into goodness. Yeah. Honestly, what we have been talking a lot about in our marriage these days of what we like need to work on.
Oh, should I say this one?
Should you say this? Are you ready? Do y'all want to know what we truly need to work on? You might be surprised.
Yeah.
Communication.
Communication.
It's crazy because my major was in communication.
Yeah. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, hey, you're the one that studied communication, and I wasn't the one that studied communication. But we realized that we feel like, okay, we're like low communicators on like the strength finders or whatever. Like communication is low on our list. So that means we don't over communicate, or we feel like we're communicating enough. So really we say things to each other, but we say the bare minimum, and in our minds we may construct the rest of the conversation and feel like the person knows exactly what else is left, but we left out some details that they should have known, but we didn't go back and follow up because, again, the communication. So that leads to,
what was the
some
thing?
miscommunication.
What did we just like get into, like, what was it about that I assumed something?
Yeah.
So, okay, we're still quarantining,
Yep.
meaning like Fedrick still works from home. He has been home since March. So it's this weird thing where you're like, oh, we'll just get back to normal, and Fedrick will go into an office again, and I'm going to be here with the kids doing all these things, whatever. But you just have to start learning like this new routine. And so Fedrick, like we live in a 2-bedroom apartment. I know where you're at all times.
And you know what? She probably is the best coworker I've ever had. That's another video.
I like to talk when you don't want to talk. I like to
another YouTube
sing
video.
when you don't like to sing. So my thing is like if you're in the open space, I call that you're in the break room.
Yeah.
So he likes to work at the kitchen counter where meals are being prepared, snacks are happening, Zane's yelling, I'm listening to podcasts.
Keep in mind, this is probably the only real table, minus the little dinner table we have, where I can kind of work in an elevated space where Zane can't, with his long go-go gadget arms, grab everything that I need to use.
And you're working on like 2 laptops.
Yeah, I'm working on 2 laptops.
But there has been a solution, and we will show you guys soon. There's a boundary. So it's just like me asking you, like, are you in total work zone? Like, I think for me...
Because you want to come and ask me.
Because I want to talk to you and stuff. And if you're in the common area, I'm like, well, duh, I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah.
And so he always says, huh?
Well, the thing is, she decides to talk to me when I have AirPods in. So I'm not hearing anything.
I'm sorry,
I can see her
those,
mouth moving.
Melt into your ears. I see no cord.
I see his mouth moving all the time. I'm like, are you talking to me? Are you just singing? Are you talking to Zane? Like, I don't know. This time, I'm in the middle of a Zoom meeting. She's just like...
Or I'm walking behind you into your meeting.
And then sometimes she gets mad that I didn't hear her. I was like, oh, headphones.
So there's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And then there's the assumption part was, what was it? The assuming...
That I'd be able to do something because I was there. Like, say if Zane's crying and I'm nearby... that I would just jump in and just see, or Haven's crying, I'll jump in and help out and see, which I do most of the time. Majority of times I do. If I hear it, I'll jump and stop. But there are some moments where I'm going to be in the middle of a call where I'm the one presenting or I'm the one running the meeting and I can't leave. And she doesn't know this, I mean, because I didn't communicate it well at that time. But she's assuming that I would just jump in like I've done in other times.
Yeah. So, I think we, like, create this, like... thing. Like, I'm creating my mind like, oh, like, he definitely obviously hears like this going off or a baby screaming, but in reality it's like we just haven't communicated what it truly looks like.
Exactly.
So I think it's crazy. We're just learning how to set like better boundaries. And then also for me, you know, I'm working on YouTube and I'm working on music stuff, and I'm with 2 kids, and so I think we're just learning to be like, okay, you are at home, so there is a freedom and a liberty at the same time. So it's like, or recently you were like, okay, communicate to me.
Yeah.
I need 2 hours here. So Google Calendar is really our friends, because I think if it's not set in stone, like in stone, let's not be crazy. It's not chiseled. It's the
but
Google.
you got to put it on there, though.
You've got to put it on there. Otherwise, you're assuming he knows that you need time to work on this, and then you're mad because you're like, you knew I needed to do this, and it's like, no. Oh, hello.
Oh,
hello. Somebody is joining our conversation.
Yeah, Zane is joining now. So so oftentimes there's other times where our lack of communication could also lead to miscommunication, which could also lead to having to have some not heated fellowships, but have some family meetings where you have some real conversation. You got to air out, you know, you got to talk and say, okay, and really have to address it and say, okay, what happened? Like, we didn't communicate again enough. I assumed you got what I was saying, and you didn't.
And that's like a whole nother area which the Holy Spirit is working on me. And it's called listening well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these are just not the sexy things you want to hear about marriage. If
That's
you're
true.
watching this video, you're like, oh gosh, marriage seems crazy. But but for the foundation, the communication between you two, and then also the listening and respect that you give your spouse is everything. So I'm a hyped person. Like, I love to be hot. I don't know I'm hot, but this means hot. You definitely farted.
As in Zane.
Zane.
See, that face, he owned it, though.
He owned it. He's like, hey.
I did it.
But I mean, Fedrick is actually very good at pausing, listening. I don't know if he's trying to understand, but his face really gives me that.
Hey, I try to understand. Because here's the deal, right? I mean, sometimes we get so hyped in the moment sometimes where if your emotions get involved, or you get so passionate, because we're passionate people, right? We're passionate about a topic and we're talking about it. We could also start to interrupt each other as they're trying to share their heart on something, or share their opinions, or share what they're feeling, you know. And it's always important. We try to at least create some kind of avenue where we can express whatever's going on in our heart as best as we can, without the fear of like the other person just going to try to judge me or just lash out at me instantly if I try to tell the truth, because we want to be hot, open, and transparent in our relationship.
And here's the deal. We don't agree on a lot.
A lot of times,
So, like, and you sit there and you think, I'm going to marry someone who just agrees with me and sees exactly how I see. And that's just like God.
Good luck.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
That.
Obviously, we don't know anybody like that. But the beauty is, like, how do I love this person through these disagreements? Like, how can I be more Christ-like? And the Holy Spirit is my best friend, because the other day when we were working on this listening
and we talked about the same exact thing.
We talked about the exact
5 minutes
thing
prior.
With each other. Like, Fedrick's like, do you think you, like, interrupt me a lot? Which, if you watch these videos, I'm a work in progress.
You may agree.
Nobody said I was perfect.
You may agree.
I just love to talk. I am, I think, more of a communicator when it comes to, like, I like to talk, but I love to listen to people too. But it's easy when it's your best friend and your family. We tend to be a little lax than we would maybe a stranger. I think.
Absolutely. There's another thing I just thought
what I
of
was going to say is I was talking, and like you said that, And then he was like, can I have 2 minutes to say what I'm going to say? And I was like, absolutely you can.
I had to put on timeout.
So,
I was like, we're going to 2 minute timeout. You have 2 minutes to share whatever it is, uninterrupted time. And then the next person gets 2 minutes to share what it is.
But probably after 1 minute, I was like, yeah, but. And I went, but.
Yeah, he was trying to interject
and
already.
It felt like the Holy Spirit.
Ew.
It felt like the Holy Spirit hooked me like a fish.
Like, what just dropped out of your mouth, though? There's another thing, too, that we always have to work on. We always have to remember. And that's kind of like, it's like the theme of our marriage. We're on the same team.
Absolutely.
Because you always, I mean, when things get passionate in relationships and marriage and you get so comfortable with someone after years. I mean, well, we're almost 5 years, so after 5 years, you feel like you know this person so well, so you get a little comfortable. You might get snippy at times, or you might forget that, oh wait, this person is my husband, this person is my wife. Like, they're my best friend too, but you say some things to your best friend, you may not say it, or your sister or your brother, that you feel so comfortable you may start saying to your spouse, and some of that you have to catch yourself. Always remind yourself of that. Like, this person does have my best interest in mind. This person has my best interest in mind. This person loves me. This person is for me.
So another thing was listening to your spouse and acting on the desires that they have. So I love a good check-in. I'm like, what is it that you want to do to have fun? Like, how can we even be more intentional about spending time together? Like, one thing Fedrick did recently that I did notice, you don't know, is I was like, I would love for you to bring surprises.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you started bringing, like, a dessert, or if you were out, you got bagels. And I did notice that.
Look at that. Be listening.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, be listening.
Did you actually listen to that?
Yes, I remember you saying it. Hey, husbands, guys, I'll listen to them clues.
Yeah. So
sometimes they're hard to catch, but when you catch it, you roll with it. Catch it and run.
You just, like, I don't know. Like, there's a way to do it where it's not nagging. Sometimes you just got to be like, I love flowers. And see if they catch the hint.
Yeah, be subtle with it, ladies.
Be subtle. You don't have to be like, you never do this for me.
Don't nag. That's pro tip. If you nag a guy about doing something over and over again, he's not going to do it because you're nagging him about it.
Camera died.
Camera died. But like I was saying, don't nag your husbands into doing something. Just slowly bring it up, subtly bring it up, and you could actually bring it up in a way where he thinks it's his idea. That might make it go even faster. Actually, that would bring you the results. That's a pro tip for all the ladies. Let him think it's his idea.
No, it's so good. Like, it's hard to get things out of Fedrick that he likes. So I'm constantly like, what kind of food do you like? What kind of... So I feel like I'm always throwing things out. But I'll tell you what guys like. They like physical things. Okay, moving on. No, but I was going to say, just like with kids and just... Even if you're newly married and, you are still kind of leaving and cleaving and your family and your friends and you're figuring out life as a married couple, like, guard your space.
Yes.
Guard your time together, carve it out, put it on the calendar, and hold that sacred.
Absolutely.
So if it's like Friday nights, I remember like a couple of friends asked, we recently were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Right now in this time, we need Friday nights to be our space. When the kids go down, that's our time.
Yep.
Some friends were like, hey, can we come over? Yep. And it was like, it would be easy to just go, yeah, come on over. It's totally fine.
For sure.
But we were desperately desiring that
and we needed
time.
it. We needed it at that time because these kids, they take so much from you, and sometimes you have to make sure you're also creating spaces for just us, right? Because we were here we the OGs.
We're the OGs.
You got to take care of the OGs, before the newbies. Take care of the OGs before the newbies.
So
But anyway.
really, that's kind of like what we're working on, and we love to share this stuff with y'all.
Real talk, we're working on so much more, but that's all we could fit in this one video. We'll have to talk about the rest another time. Because marriage is work. You never have a perfect marriage, and you got to work at it every day, like you said earlier.
And the beauty is when you pray about it and you ask God to help you, you don't have to strive to make yourself better.
Exactly.
You can trust that the Holy Spirit is changing your heart and will remind you as you go along daily in your marriage.
Yeah, and the Holy Spirit will point out the things that you really need to work on to become a better husband or wife for your person.
Exactly.
So listen to your spouse when the Holy Spirit is speaking.
Yeah. Anyway, so hope this is encouraging and uplifting to anybody walking through stuff like this. But
thanks for watching this video. As always, hit the thumbs up button, like it, share it with all your friends that are thinking about getting married, that are contemplating if they should ever get married. Y'all share this video.
Marriage is awesome.
Exactly.
So, okay, hope you guys are having a wonderful week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.